Well, hello there. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the right way and the wrong way to make New Year's resolutions and set goals. And instead, I'm going to show you the right way to make goals for your health specifically so that you actually achieve them in 2021. Hey there, I'm Katrina Sequenzia, your health coach at Healthy Free Life, and I'm so delighted that you have tuned in. If you are watching this on the replay, I am so glad that you made it and that you've tuned in. If you're watching this live, well, hello, I'm so glad that you're here. Let me know that you're here. Go ahead and tell me hello in the comments. I can't wait to give you a little shout out here. So let's talk about the right way and the wrong way to set goals. And I have been setting goals for probably the last 20 years. And I want to tell you, probably the first 10 to 15 years, I didn't always achieve my goals. I really kind of struggled with goals and actually achieving them. I would set up these big, audacious goals and then just try to fling it at the wall and try to achieve it. But in the last 5 to 10 years, I have really been honing in on goal setting. I've been a lifelong learner of goals and how to actually achieve them. And I want to share some of those with you today. So hello to Irene and Jeneth and Desiree and Cheryl. Hello. I'm so glad to see each and every one of you. So let's talk about the right way to set goals. I surveyed my email list yesterday, and I sent out an email and I said, hey, let me know what your number one goal is that you want to achieve in 2021. And I got so many responses. So if you were one of them, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you responded. And so there were several that were common. So it was, I wanted to eat healthy, or I want to lose weight, or I want to get off sugar, or I want to exercise, or I want to fill in the blank. So I want to know here, if you are watching this live or on the replay, I would love to know, can you type in the comments if there was one goal that you could actually achieve in 2021? What goal would that be? Can you just quickly type it in? It could be just a phrase. It doesn't have to be a full-on sentence, because what I want to do is I want to use some of the examples that I've received either via email response or here live. I want to use some of these examples so I can help you to craft a goal the right way and then give you the steps for how you're actually going to accomplish those goals in 2021 and achieve them, okay? Because we want to succeed. We don't want to be in the same place we are today next year at this time, right? We all want to seek to improve. Even I want to seek to improve my life and my health. This year, 2021, will be no different. So let me know. So I see work out some more than I do. Love that. That is a great goal. In fact, that's one of my 2021 goals, is to be consistent with my exercising. I worked out more in this last year than I ever have, but sometimes I fall off the wagon when life gets a little busy. And so this year is all about consistency for me in exercise. So I can relate to that. So I see workout schedule, eat healthier, get closer to God, Cheryl says. Desiree says incorporate healthier foods to replace unhealthy habits and foods. Irene says spending more time with God. Beth says eat healthy and lose weight. Okay. And Mary says, just do it, right? Just do the thing. I love that goal. Okay, so let's take some of those goals, whatever you have in your mind, whether you share with me or not. I'm going to take the top 2 that came in via email, and I saw a lot of them here. And we have eat healthy, and we have lose weight. Those are often 2 common goals, especially around the new year. Okay, this is the year I'm going to lose the 50 pounds. Or this is the year I'm finally going to start eating healthier. I'm going to be more disciplined. I'm going to do it. Okay. So the problem with that type of goal is that it doesn't have a lot of meat on it. So what we want to do, the first thing we want to do, I'm going to give you 3 things that we need to do with our goals. The first thing that we need to do with our goals is we need to put them through a system. And this is not something that I created. This is a tried and true, stands the test of time, how to actually formulate the goal for what you're trying to achieve. So if your goal is to eat healthy, we don't just want to say, I'm going to eat healthy. We need to make it a SMART goal. And that's an acronym, SMART. So S stands for it needs to be specific, okay? Eat healthy, not very specific. Eat a healthy breakfast every day, that is specific. Do you see where I'm going with that? Or maybe your goal is to eat God's glorious foods 50% of the time. That's a little bit less specific, but we're getting closer, okay? So you might just want to narrow in on a very specific thing that you want to do. M means that it must be measurable. So can you measure it? So if your goal is to eat healthier, can you measure how many times you ate a healthy breakfast this week? Absolutely. You just check it off on your calendar. Ate a healthy breakfast. So at the end of the week, you could say, I ate 5 out of 7 times I ate a healthy breakfast. The next thing it needs to be actionable. So the word eat is an action word. So eat a healthy breakfast is actionable. It's not like it's not, you need to make sure that it's very actionable. I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't be actionable. Lose 30 pounds, for instance. Yes, the word lose is an action, but there's nothing you can do in that phrase. There's no doing in that phrase, because the doing is actually like exercising and eating healthy and walking and things like that. So it needs to be actionable. So it needs to be specific, it needs to be measurable, it needs to be actionable, and honestly, it needs to be realistic, okay? So here's what sometimes can happen, especially with eating healthy or exercise or even losing weight, is we think that we'll be able to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, or we think that we're going to be able to lose all of the weight that we need to lose and get down to goal weight this year. And it may or may not be possible for you, depending on how much you might need to lose or what your current habits are. There's lots that go into play. And how long have you had this weight or been eating this way is going to determine how long it's going to take you to potentially reverse some of that. Okay, so we need to be very realistic. And so I want us to just be, honestly, slower weight loss is actually more sustainable than quick weight loss. And so I don't know about you, but I've been on quick weight loss diet plans, right? And so you lose the weight very quickly, but how it comes back just as quickly. So we just got to be really mindful. And instead of focusing on a year, what we want to do is we want to begin to bring it up. And we want to say, what is the realistic amount that I could lose in 30 days or in 90 days, which is even better. And so it might be where you say, I'm going to seek to lose maybe 1 pound on average per week. It doesn't mean every week you're going to lose weight. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. But would it be pretty awesome to lose 15 pounds in the next 3 months and have it be lasting weight loss? That seems much more realistic to lose 15 pounds in 90 days than it is to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, because let's just be honest, it's not sustainable, neither the diet nor the weight loss in itself. So it needs to be realistic. We also need to make sure that this is the right time of our life to be focusing on that. So sometimes, I work with a group of students and on weight loss specifically. And, I'm like, sometimes we just need to maintain our weight versus seeking to lose weight. If we are in a season of chaos, a season of stress, the holidays, sometimes it's just like, let's just try not to gain weight during the holidays, right? And so sometimes losing weight during the holidays, is it possible? Yes, but it's not always realistic depending on what's going on in our life. The last thing we need to know is that it needs to be time specific. So remember that I said those goals, we want to what is the timeline? What is your deadline? So it might be 2021, I will lose 30 pounds in 2021, right? And so that could be a goal. It's not as actionable as I would want it to be. We'll talk more about actions in a minute. But that gives you a time frame. It's measurable. It tells you how many pounds you'll lose and by when. Okay. So let's just review. When you're writing your goal statement, it needs to be a smarter goal. So it needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be actionable. It needs to be relevant, and it needs to be time specific. Okay, so make sure you have those components. And now we can create a goal, and now you can write your goal. So as you're thinking about whatever you shared here, eat healthy and lose weight, or work out on a schedule, eat healthier and get closer. So Cheryl, you'll want to make sure if work out on a schedule, you're going to want to really craft that into a goal that says, I will work out, I will exercise and decide what you're going to do. I will do XYZ exercise at a specific time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And that becomes much more specific because you're saying what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. It's measurable because you've either worked out 3 days a week or you haven't, right? And it is actionable. You're working out. It is realistic. Got to make sure that it's realistic. So make sure that time of the day that you pick is realistic. Working out 3 times a week is realistic. And it needs to be time specific, which it is if you're putting a specific time and day on when you're going to do it. And so you might even expand upon that and say, this quarter, so the first 90 days, I will achieve my goal 80% of the time, right? Because here's the thing, we can't be 100% perfect. We need to let perfection just go. We need to just realize that our goal is to strive to be better than we are today. So if you haven't been working out over this last month, if you worked out 50% of the times that you meant to over this next month, would that not be an accomplishment? Yes, it would. So glass half full, glass half empty, we're going to look at what we actually achieve. And so we need to look at those positive things. Okay, so that's number one, is we need to make sure that our goal follows the SMART system, okay? But the next couple of things are super important here, okay? Because this is where I have failed in the past, is that I would just set out these goals and I might put some action steps to it, but I just thought that magically I was just going to be able to achieve these SMART goals. And the realisms is that we need a lot more that needs to come up underneath the goal. And ultimately, the goal is not even what we're after, believe it or not. Let me explain. The second thing you need to know is that we need to take your goal and we need to put some steps to it, okay? Sometimes our goals require just check off the list action steps, and sometimes our goals require habits and systems in our life, okay? So for instance, if I had a goal of going on vacation this quarter, so say my goal is on February 22nd, I will go on a beach vacation to XYZ beach. Wouldn't that be magical? So let's just say that was a goal that I wanted to create. So sometimes you just have to check off the list action steps, right? I need to pick a hotel. I need to book the hotel. I need to make a packing list. I need to make sure our dog is boarded. I need to, check, right? Action steps. So when you create a goal that requires more action steps, you want to just list out a few of your action steps that you need to take. Here's the thing. This is what I have learned in the past couple of years more that has made the biggest difference in my life in actually achieving goals. Are you ready? Most goals that we set for our life, especially when it comes to our health, requires healthy habits in order to help us actually achieve those. It is not the goal that we need to focus on. It is the habits and the systems in our life that are usually lacking that prevent us from ever reaching our goals. John Maxwell, an amazing leader and author, there's a quote that I love. People have uphill dreams and they have downhill habits. That's a writer downer. People have uphill dreams and they have downhill habits. Isn't that right? It's like you say your goal is I want to eat healthy, but then we have all these not so great habits in our life, right? We gotta change the habits. And what we need to make sure we do is we don't always just focus on the negative habits. We want to really focus on the positive habits first. We want to add in good things before focusing on all the negative things. Sometimes we can get so caught up on I'm gonna eat less sugar, or I'm not gonna drink soda, or I'm not gonna do this. So we focus on a do not list. And that just kills us. That just beats us up. We really want to focus on a do list. We want to focus on a list of things that we want to do to add in that will bring health and life and vitality, things that we'll want to do, right? Because when the going gets tough, I got to tell you, like if I'm eating sugar every single day, I'm not going to want to give that up. And so we're going to want to add in. So for instance, here's a really simple tip just to get you started, okay? So let's just say your goal is to eat healthier, or your goal is to lose 30 pounds this year, okay? Let's just pretend like that's one of your goals. And of course, we want to make it a SMART goal, right? So let's put some meat on that goal. But then we need to say, okay, for me to be able to lose 30 pounds this year, I got to develop some healthy habits. What we don't want to do is we don't want to do everything all at once. So I saw several of y'all had a couple different things you wanted to accomplish. I want to work out, I want to eat healthier, I want to XYZ. So what we want to do is we want to really just focus on one at a time. So maybe the first quarter of the year, or first month of the year, you go heavy on one of those things. And so let me share with you one of the simplest, most profound healthy habits that you can start if it's not already a part of your life. And that is drinking water. I know it sounds so basic and so simple, but I'm here to tell you that if you were to drink water every single day and you were to do it consistently, you are much more likely to reach your goals for your health by starting with that healthy habit than trying to go all in and do XYZ diet that promises 30 pounds in 30 days. I promise you, it has much more of an impact on your health than anything else. I am living testimony to these healthy habits and drinking water, okay? So that is something that's just a little bonus. I would suggest starting with water and start drinking water. And some people don't like water and it can be really hard. So we want to break it down even further. And let's start really super small. I want to challenge you, starting today, right now, after you watch this video, go drink 8 ounces of water. How simple is that? Can you do that? I think you can. And if you're watching this and you're on a mobile and you're in your house and you can move around, go get some water right now. You can keep watching me while you go get a glass of water. There's no problem with that. So go get some water. And then starting tomorrow, commit to yourself as soon as you wake up in the morning to drink 8 to 16 ounces of water. It's like an internal bath for your insides, cleansing them, giving them what they need to detoxify your body, to hydrate your body, to make your cells happy. And then you feel amazing as well. If you got healthy cells, you got a healthy body, okay? And that's what we're after. All right, so we've made a SMART goal. We are going to make sure that we focus on habits, okay? So what needs to happen is that goal that you set, sure, it's great for making sure that you are focused on what you're going to be doing, like what the goal is. Goals are good. But what I almost want you to do is I almost want you to rip up your goal and I want you to focus on your habits and what's actually going to help you to achieve those. And so I have a whole teaching just on habits that I'm not going to go into today, but I want you to start out with that water habit if you want to. Let me give you the third and probably the most important thing that you need to know when it comes to setting goals and actually achieving them in the new year. And this is what it is. Number 3 is you need to know your why. You need to know why you are even going to try to eat healthier, why you're going to try to lose weight, why you're going to try to ditch sugar, whatever it was that your goal is, you must have a big why behind it. The why is your intention on why this is even important for you. And so I have a resource for you that I want to share with you, and I'm going to put it here in the comments. I'm going to put a link to it here in just a minute. But this is my Know Your Why worksheet. And this is every single goal that you set. I want you to go through these questions that I have. So for instance, this one is, what is your goal? And so you'll write your goal there. And then I walk you through a series of what happens and why it's going to be important for you. Because listen, let's just say you set your New Year's goal of eating healthier, or let's just say you make a goal of you have a not goal and you decide that I'm not going to eat sugar anymore. Let's just say. Here's the thing, is that if you set that kind of a goal, first of all, I don't suggest a not goal, but if you do set a goal of I'm not going to eat sugar this month or this year or this quarter or these 40 days or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. If you don't have a big enough why, when the going gets tough and it's either 3 o'clock in the afternoon and your energy dips and you're starting to get anxious and you're craving very heavily, if you don't have a very big why why it's important that you don't eat sugar, if you don't have a very big why, what's going to happen is the whole goal of don't eat sugar, it's not very stimulating. It's not very sexy. It's not very motivating in the heat of the moment to help you to make the right choice. Okay? So you are more likely to give in to sugar at 3 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, whatever time it is, you're more likely to give in to that sugar. And it's because you don't have a big enough why. We need to know why it's important that we not eat the sugar. And if you don't know why it's not important to eat sugar, let me just tell you. If you lack energy, if you lack vitality, if you are carrying extra weight that's preventing you from being able to fully live out your life, if you're not able to go hike and run and play with your children or your grandchildren, if you're not able to fully live out your purpose and you eat sugar, sugar is a major contributing component to those things. And so we have to have a big enough why to be willing to let go of sugar or to be adding in exercise or whatever it is that your goal is or your habit is that you're trying to accomplish this year. We've got to have a big enough why. And so maybe, just maybe, you're playing with my grandchildren is your big why. Or maybe traveling, Lord willing, we'll be able to do that. Maybe traveling with your spouse is your big why. Or maybe being able to hike in your area because you have a beautiful place that you live. What is your why? That's what this worksheet is going to help you drill down to find what your why is. But we're not going to stop there, okay? Because what we really need to know is why is it important that you play with your grandchildren? Why is it important that you fully live out your purpose? Why is it important that you run and play with your grandchildren when you're 60, 70, and 80 years old? Why is this important to you? What does it bring you? What does it provide you? And usually what happens when we boil down to our whys, we come down to the root of what we truly want. What do we really want to experience more of in our life? I don't want to give it all away, but I will tell you that when I ask this question of my students and clients and those that I get to share this with, usually it boils down to that these things will bring us more joy or more peace in our life, right? To know that we've released the weight and we're no longer physically burdened, but we're able to experience more life and we have more energy and we can live abundantly. We can go and have more joy by doing the things that we want. And we no longer are in bondage to food and in bondage to sugar. We have peace and joy. So that if that's what our why is to experience this abundant life that we have been promised and to experience it fully, then what happens is, and we know that we want more joy, we want more peace, then in the heat of the moment at 3 p.m. when our energy tanks and when we're tempted to go into the pantry and grab that cookie, or it's 8 p.m. and that pint of Ben & Jerry's is calling us from the freezer, we have the why that's big enough. And it needs to be big, exciting, and motivating. And it needs to be in your face, on your refrigerator. Put those grandchildren, both those babies and those children of yours, put their faces on the freezer. And you say, this is why I am choosing the right choice. This is why I'm going to choose a healthier option. This is why I'm going to go drink a glass of water instead of eating a bowl of Ben & Jerry's. And I'm going to go and I'm going to pray and I'm going to ask God to help me to continue to make these right choices today, tomorrow, day after day. Because this is the year I want to experience more joy. And so as you create your why, you walk through the questions of why this is important to you, and you keep asking why and why and why, and you get all the way down and you get to the root of it. What I want you to consider doing is to claim a word for your health this year. A word that's going to be motivating, that's going to drive you to want to do the things that you gotta do to get healthy, to do the boring things, to do the hard things, to do the things you don't really want to do. They really stink. I gotta tell you, I don't like exercising. I don't like walking. It's not easy. I don't want to do it. There's so many other things I'd rather do. But I do it anyways because I have a big why. I have a vision for who I want to be, what I want to experience. Because I know that the choices I make today, they matter tomorrow. They matter 10 years from now. Honestly, they matter for eternity. So I know that having a healthy, strong body when I'm 80 requires that I work out today. It requires that I choose healthy choices. It requires that I drink my water. Because this body's, what I do to it today affects how it feels tomorrow. And so we want our tomorrow self to look at we want our tomorrow self to say, thank you, Katrina, for those choices you made yesterday. Because today I feel amazing. And that's why I exercise. That's why I walk. That's why I choose the salad over the fast food. It's why I choose to do the things that I don't want to do. So I have goals that are smart. I have healthy habits that I've established under my goals, or maybe they're just check off the list action steps, but I've mapped those out. And then I know my why. Every single goal that I have has a big why. I had a goal of coming on live with you today. Why? Why? It is not easy, right? Some of the things we do is not easy. I overcome fears of rejection. I overcome fears of saying the wrong thing. I overcome fears that you're not going to like what I have to say. And I fear rejection. That's the root of my thing. But if I have a big enough why, which I do, then I do it. You are my purpose. My goal is to help you to achieve the abundant life that you've been promised, to help you to remove the physical burdens from your life so you can fully live out the life that God's called you to live. And so you know what? I do the hard things because we can. With God's help, He comes alongside us. He strengthens us to do the hard things that are in alignment with His will. And caring for our temples is totally in alignment with His will. There is nothing against His will when it comes to caring for your temple. So we must do hard things. But with Him, we can. Amen? Amen. So let me go ahead and pop this link right here in there for you, okay? Bear with me just a moment. So it's going to be here in the comments. I am also going to put this link in the post after I'm done here. We'll do that as well. There we go. All right, I just put that right there in the comments for you. So be sure to click on that, go over there, get the Know Your Why worksheet. I'll email that to you in just a minute or two. It will come into your email inbox and you can do that. This is the perfect day for you to sit down and to write out your goals and to dream and to ask God for a vision of who He wants you to become, to create the goals that are going to help you to achieve that, to create healthy habits. Just focus on one. Just get started with one. Let's not go all or nothing kind of a thing, right? Most importantly, know your why. Maybe even a bonus is to find your why word for the year, for your health. Okay? What is that? And if you do discover that, come back and share that with me. Come back to this video. Let me know what it is. I would love to know what your why is. It always blesses my heart to know that. So here's what I want you to know is that every Thursday in the month of January, I'm going to be coming to you live here on the Healthy Free Life with Katrina Sequenzia page. And I'm going to be coming live at 7 p.m. Eastern every single Thursday. I want to support you, encourage you as you begin this new year. And I want 2021 to be your healthiest year ever. And I would be honored and delighted to support you and to show you the way. All right, it has been a joy to be here with you today. I can't wait to hear what your word is. Until next time, bye for now.